Alright, we're gonna face the east. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostle GMS who rule well. Salute you brothers pushing this word. And truth and sincerity, strength, power, Yahawashi. And shalom to the brothers and sisters born and trust and spirit, power, Yahawashi. Shalom too. Right? We are the prophesy of the downfall of the wicked destructive kingdom of Babylon to bring Sodom and Gomorrah, Egypt, Rome, all those empires brought up into one controlled by Esau, Edom. We are the guys, the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of the Negro, Latino, and Native American. Those are the true biblical people, Israelites, according to the King James Bible. Right? Right? You respect probably Yahawashi. You know, you guys elect the word power Yahawashi. You know, I had lost my train of thought right then. I was thinking about something. But y'all gotta excuse me again. I was up early, I was at the plantation today, so I had to, you know, go to the plantation today. So y'all gotta excuse me. But yeah, that's where we at. I was listening to before the camera came on, me and the brothers was talking earlier, and we was talking about what's his name? Kyrie Irving. That's his name, Kyrie Irving. Yeah, and you know, they all over about him mentioning that he's an Israelite, or he's a Jew. And he mentioned a documentary concerning from Negroes to Hebrews, right? And the guy that made that documentary, hopefully I knew I was gonna lose it. Let me see. The guy that made that documentary, okay, here we go. The guy that made that documentary, he did a response concerning, you know what I'm saying, the guy's name is Ron Dalton, the guy who made that documentary. And he did a response concerning Kyrie. Now, I was listening to the video, and in the video, let me see. I was listening to the video, and in the video, let me see where I can go. I ain't even get no time stamp. How is that possible? Well, I was listening to the video, and well, it was two places I was going to go back to, but I see I didn't get no time stamp on that. I was listening to the video, and in the video, he mentioned that he don't even believe in the 12 tribe chart, and he don't even believe that Esau, the white man, so-called white man, which I'm gonna go, you know what I'm saying? This is the timestamp I'm finna go to, the one to where he's talking about he don't even believe Esau, the so-called white man, right? And I'm gonna let y'all hear it. I'm gonna let y'all hear it so y'all can say, well, you making it up. You know what I'm saying? Let me get there. I'm gonna let y'all hear it, man. Let me see.
Use all the thinking and logic and common sense that's needed to really see these things as being false teachings that need to be examined and changed. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with you know, saying that, you know, based on this and that, we believe that we're the Israelites. Anybody can say that, but the Jews today, you know, they will go into Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Nepal and China and other areas of the world and say that, you know, these guys are Jews. They say that they are descendants of the Israelites and blah blah blah. And they come back, make Aliyah to Israel, and they're accepting all these other races and nationalities. You know, but a lot of times we don't really look at the fact that while we're promoting the 12 tribes chart, which encompasses the Americas and the Caribbean, we leave Africa left out. And there's no 12 tribes chart for Africa. And I have a problem with that because you cannot connect the Negro to the Israelites of the Bible without going to sub-Saharan Africa. You cannot do it because everything, all the traditional custom and things that are in the Bible, in Deuteronomy and Leviticus, is actually being practiced right now naturally in sub-Saharan Africa. So at this point in the game now, I don't like to argue with people about 12 tribes chart and debating everybody in the world that believes that we're indigenous Indians, or we're Israelite Indians, or we identify as Moorish, indigenous Indian Israelites. I'll just be like, okay, whatever, believe what you want to believe. But I'm on the whole direction towards Africa. Because Africa, there's a lot of things in Africa people don't know about, and they kept that a secret from us because the Europeans and Gentiles knew that Africa holds a lot of secrets that unlocks the mysteries and the questions that we may see and don't know how to ask or get the answer, or even things that we just don't know that people will only get to know if you go to the continent and talk to the people that's there.
One thing about you that I know.
Hey, bro.
When you say you're gonna do.
Hey, bro. Jake always mentioning Africa, man. Always. You see what I'm saying? They all give me give me Exodus 3, Exodus chapter 3. I think it's Exodus chapter 3. Try verse Exodus chapter 3. Go back. Go back. Yeah. Start at verse 8, man. They always mentioning, and then hold Deuteronomy 7 too. Deuteronomy 7 and start at the top of it. But read what you got in Exodus 3 and 8.
All right, this is Exodus chapter 3 verse 8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hands of the Egyptians.
Yeah, Egyptians is the Watuts, the Zulus, and the Sudanese. Those are descendants of Ham, okay? They are descendants of Ham. And their land is what they know today is Africa, okay? That's their land. That's the Egyptians' land, Africa, okay? But when you look up the name of the Egyptians, it really go back to Matazarium, okay, Mizraim. That's what it goes back to, Mizraim. That's their biblical name, and their land is in Africa, and Egypt is in Africa. And Africa got its name from Leo Scipio's Africanus, who conquered Hannibal in the Third Punic War, okay? And Hannibal was conquered by being betrayed, okay? He was betrayed and then he had to flee into exile, but he was betrayed. Leo Scipio Africanus didn't actually go head to head with Hannibal, which was an Israelite, and overthrow him like that. Now he was betrayed and he had to flee in the exile. So after that Third Punic War, Africa was named after Leo Scipios Africana, which was a so-called white man, a general. The original name of Africa is Ham, and Egypt is in the land of Ham, okay? So read what you got again, bro.
All right, this is Exodus chapter 3, verse 8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the land of the Egyptians.
Okay, where's the land of the Egyptians? In the land of Ham, aka Africa. Okay, go ahead.
And to bring them up out of the land unto a good land and a large.
So to bring them up out of the land. Our people always trying to go to Africa. Always mentioning Africa, 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 Africa. Always, man. It always come out of their mouth, man. That's the Hamites' land, man. We was in slavery in Ham's land. That's what we reading about. The Most High set up Moses to deliver us out of the land of Ham, which is aka Africa, man. Go ahead.
Unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
Unto a land flowing with milk and honey, which is Jerusalem. Okay? That's our homeland. It's not Africa, man. What's wrong with you so-called Negroes always want to run back to Africa, man? That's where you was in slavery at. The Heavenly Father did not give you the land of Africa, man. Your land is Jerusalem, man. That's the motherland. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
Unto the place of the Canaanites.
Okay? The Canaanites. Okay? Those are South Africans. Okay? Go ahead.
And the Hittites.
Yep, those are South Africans, because what it is those are tribes of Canaan. Okay? Go ahead.
And the Amorites.
Same thing. Go ahead.
And the Perizzites.
Same thing. Go ahead.
And the Havites. Is
Yep.
that how you pronounce it?
Havites. Yep.
Havites. Okay. And the Jebusites.
Yep. So those were Hamitic nations, Hamitic tribes, man, that was in the land of Jerusalem, which was called Canaan. Okay? So that's our land, man. Jerusalem is not the land of Ham. You so-called Negroes always want to point to the land of Ham. And that's why Kyrie Irving was mentioning in the video Africa, because that's where he got his doctor from. That guy, Ron Dalton. You see? And Ron Dalton is focused on Africa. Nah, we focus on Jerusalem. That's our homeland. Okay? Not Africa, man. We fled in Africa around 70 AD, man. Okay? And we always had people down in Africa, man. You had Ptolemy, when you go into the history of the Maccabees, you had Ptolemy, which was Edomites, one of Alexander's generals. When you go into the Maccabees, you had one of Alexander's generals ruling Egypt, and he had took Israelites down into Egypt when you read the book of Maccabees. So when our people was besieged, when the besiege started, it started before 70 AD. But we always say that 70 AD. But it started like, you know what I'm saying, the Romans coming in, it started around 66 AD. 66, somewhere up in there. It could be circle around that area. But we always say 70 AD. But our people was running down into Africa because you always had our people down up in there. But that's not our land. And just like something happened, take for instance, something happened in Arkansas. Real bad in Arkansas to where it's so bad to where we gotta leave. You gonna go, you know what I'm saying, to different states where your relatives are. You know what I'm saying? Same way with what was going on in 70 AD, when Jerusalem being besieged by the Romans. Okay, they fled to where they knew some of their people would be, and they went up in Africa. Man, when you read, matter of fact, hold on. We always refer to this Babylon the Timbuktu by Rudolph Winston, right? And on page, cause I gotta bring this out, man. Jake is they stuck on Africa, man. See if I can find it. Stuck on that Africa, man. I just don't understand it, man. Why you Negroes is stuck on Africa so much, man? And then on top of that, when we went down into Africa, man, we took riches and our customs down into Africa, man. They knew that we was the Israelite when that community was built up in Africa, man. Okay, I'm trying to find it here. Y'all bear with me. But our people always talking about some Africa, man. That ain't it, man. Our motherland is Jerusalem, man. You know, even though you got our people still in Africa, right? Still in Africa, because some of our people didn't come over here in slavery. Some of them was stayed back, and that's why you got Israelites in Africa keeping some of the customs still, because they didn't come over here. They stayed over there. You see? So just because they keeping the customs over there don't mean that that's our homeland. You see? And Israel is scattered everywhere, man. Where is this? I'm just talking, man. I'm trying to find this. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like I should have highlighted so I could go straight to it. Y'all bear with me. Well, continue on reading that. Read that from me again, bro. Then I'm gonna run across it. Well, Willie. Oh, I got it.
Oh,
I got it. But here we go. This is on page 84, man. At Babylon the Timbuktu. Right? That's what I'm reading. That's what I'm finna read right there. Okay, so y'all can see. That's on page 84. Babylon Timbuktu, highlight part. Okay? This in the year 65 BC, the Roman, we always say 70 AD, but I knew it was started a little bit earlier. You know what I'm saying? I said like 66, but you know what I'm saying? Here it say 65. But that's what happened to us as a people. The Romans came in, but I'm gonna read it. It says, it's on page 84. It says, in the year of 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. Now, within those Roman generals, you had an Israelite by the name of Tiberius Alexander, which he was the mastermind behind helping the Romans, which were Edomites, capture Jerusalem. And Tiberius Alexander was an Israelite when you Google him and research him out. So you had our people helping Edomites besiege their own people. You see? So, reading that again, this is Babylon Timbuktu on page 84. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it had been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. So, picture that. You got 1 million Jews fleeing into Africa, and you already had some down in there when you read the book of Maccabees. So of course, you had Israelites down in Africa, but that's not our homeland. So they running, fleeing from the Romans, going down into Africa. They knew they had people down up in there already. You see, it says, it had been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing the Roman persecution and slavery. The slave market was full of black Jewish slaves. So it say Jewish there, but we know there's a suffix on the end of it. But that don't, that, you know what I'm saying, that we know it really means Jew. You know what I'm saying? That Jew is short for Jew. Okay? But you got 1 million Israelites go in there, and you got slavery going on, and you got them running and scattered. So I say this right here. Even when they fleeing into Africa, when they fleeing into Africa, and they seeing that other Israelites are going into slavery, they gonna flee more and more deeper into Africa to keep running. You know what I'm saying? But you got over 1 million of them. You got over 1 million of them that went into Africa. So our people, for some reason, they can't get that through their head that, you know what I'm saying, that part of the history, or research that part of the history and understand that's not our homeland. They always mention in Africa, but that's the so-called white man vibration to get for Jake, when they wake up to the truth, continue to push that vibration like the white man that keep saying Africa, Africa, Africa. Our homeland is Jerusalem, man. So read that for me again. Yeah, Exodus 3 and 8.
All right, this is Exodus chapter 3, verse 8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the land, out of the hands of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and a large.
Yeah, it's talking about Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
Yep, go ahead.
Unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites.
See? So those all nations, tribes of Ham, man. You see? So, let's get on that particular verse. All right, give me Deuteronomy 7 and start at the top.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When YAHAWAH SHAM YAHAWASHI, thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goes to possess it.
See? In the land where thou goes to possess it. Okay? So we finna go and possess this land that he's talking about. And it ain't in Africa. Okay? Go ahead.
And has cast out many nations before thee. The Hittites and the Gerashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites.
See, all them same tribes that we're reading about in Exodus 3:8. Same tribe. And what land are we going to possess? Jerusalem. That ain't in Africa. So our people always mention Africa, 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 Africa. Man, we gonna put them Hamites in slavery when we get back into power, man. What's wrong with these people?